Let's talk about cooking. Cooking is one of the things in Atlas that is kind of complex. There's a lot more to it than the normal smeltery or the tannery, where you just have one facility device, like the forge or the tannery rack or the vat, right? In cooking, there are several different types of machines that you can use to cook things. You have the stove, you have the oven, you have the pot, and cooking requires an understanding of tastes as well. Tastes are taste preferences that you have on the servers. So you can see that mine are spicy and bitter. And to find this out, you just do /tastes and hit enter, and it pops that up for you. So to build these machines, if you want to build one of each, you're going to need this. You'll want some wood for the cutting board, as well as the pressure plate that you're going to use for it. You need some wood and a stick and some iron for the tripwire. You need 2 sets of 4 iron for the iron doors, the iron trap doors. You need 16 cobblestone for the furnaces, some flint and iron for flint and steel, and 9 iron for the cauldron. Now, the tutorial quest that you do for Ramsay Gordon, I think, is using raw pork chop, carrots, and wheat seeds. So once I have all of this built, we will do a setup with that, and I'll cook some of this in each of the facilities there. Other stuff you're going to need a bucket of lava, and you're going to need a bucket of water. Actually, you could skip the lava if you want to. I'm going to demonstrate how the lava can be used in place of the fire. So you want to have a couple of holes, and after you make the flint and steel, you can light up a block. So for example, like so, right? Now you can use either lava or fire to provide the heat aspect of building these items. So the first step here is to build a cutting board, because the cutting board is what you need to be able to make the food items themselves. For this, you're going to need to make a crafting table, and you're going to need to make an oak pressure plate. Once you have these, you can just place the crafting table down somewhere, and you just hold shift and then right click on top, and you'll get a cutting board, which is just this. Right? And then what you want to do over here with these kinds of things, you're going to need to make a couple of iron trapdoors. And you'll want to make a little bit of a structure here for the items. Oops. And then what you're going to want to do is for the stove, you're going to need a furnace. And then you need to put a trapdoor on top of it. Or no, this is the oven, I'm sorry, not the stove. For the oven, that's what you need to do here. For the stove, you just need to have fire, and you just need to put the iron door on top like this, and you've got a stove. You got an oven, stove. Now, the pot is a little bit more effort here, where I need to create a furnace, and then I'm going to place the furnace at the bottom, and then I need a cauldron. I'm going to get a cauldron, and you place this on top of the furnace. And then what you're going to do is you're going to make a tripwire hook. So you take a stick, planks, and an iron ingot, and you make tripwire hooks. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take this and you're going to place it at the top here. Now this right here, this 3 high thing, is the pot. This is the oven. This is the stove. Now back to the tutorial point, right? So you've got your different kinds of ingredients here that you're going to be using in the tutorial: the pork chop, the carrot, and the wheat seeds. So you open up the cutting board, right? And if you left or right click, it'll automatically put these items into the cutting board into their proper slots. Right? Now you have main ingredients, and every kind of food needs to have some kind of main ingredient. secondary ingredients and spices. Now, secondary ingredients and spices are meant to give the taste preference that you're looking for. So you're trying to, or you want to try to discover whatever it is that gives the taste preferences you have. So I don't really actually even know what any of these things do for taste preferences, but wheat seeds have a taste preference that they create as a spice. And carrots have a taste preference that they create within the finished product as a secondary ingredient. So it's up to you to discover what these taste preferences that each item has. And you can put a lot of stuff in here as well. There's all sorts of materials that you can use to make the better kind of food than the vanilla Minecraft food, right? So once you've got these in here, then you can left click your raw pork chop and it comes out and you can see that it's prepared food ingredients, right? And then once you have this, you can then go ahead and place it in one of these areas, right? So let's do the oven. I'll put it in there and you can see you place the food on the station. Now, if you have a clock, which I hope you have one if you're doing this, then you can right click on it and you can see how long it's been cooking for. You need to wait 5 minutes, and once it says 5 minutes, generally between, I think the latest I've taken one out is 7, but it's somewhere between like 5 and some amount of minutes. But if you wait too long, when you try to pull it out, it'll just give you nothing and it'll say that it was mush, right? So let's make a couple more of these real quick. The prepared ingredients do stack. And then, oh, I need to put water in this. This is why we have the water bucket, right? So in this, you need to make sure that it's filled with water. And then once you do that, then you can, maybe you can't. Maybe I messed up on this. Oh, it's because I was testing it before. That makes sense. There we go. So this was built right in the same spot that I was building the one that I was before I was doing the video that I was testing out. So that's why that happened. And apparently, whatever I ate was bitter spicy, which is my perfect taste preference. It's probably the food that I was making for myself earlier. So yeah. And then these each have different effects. So to talk about them, the reason why there's 3 different types of cooking machines is that the oven has a specific effect. When you eat food that comes out of the oven, it does something very specific. And if you want to know what that is, then I would encourage you to cook with an oven and see what it does when you eat it. Same for the pot and same for the stove. Each of these machines has a very specific thing that they do that is beneficial to you over vanilla Minecraft food. All right, so at 5 minutes, when you test this thing and it says this has been cooking for 5 minutes, that's the point where you want to take stuff out. So you can see that if I use the oven, I get pork and veggies. All right, so if I pull that out the pot, I get a pork stew. And if I pull it off of the grill, the stove, I get grilled pork. I guess that would make more sense for that to be a grill. So pork and veggies, pork stew, grilled pork. So you get 3 different types of food from 3 different types of machines. You need a cutting board to create the prepared food, and you cook it for 5 minutes. And that's how you would do the tutorial quest in Narru for cooking.